This is the story about how my ex-boyfriend threw all his family out of the apartment to rent it out for Airbnb. I was young and stupid. I was in my 20s and I met abroad. I was working and living abroad, my ex-boyfriend as well. So we met and we were dating for some time, and then he moved back to Spain and he offered me to come and visit him for some time there. His mother suffered from depression, and my ex-boyfriend's sister decided that it's going to be wise that the whole family will live together to support her. So the mom was super happy because of this. She rented an apartment, a big apartment with 3 bedrooms, one for her, one for my ex-boyfriend and me, and one for her daughter and her boyfriend to live together happily. After some time, my ex-boyfriend decided that he wanted to rent out his room, our room, for Airbnb. His mom was crying like crazy, and sister was super mad because, of course, no one wants unknown people to stay in the place where you live every day. New people, that's horrible. So my ex-boyfriend's mom was constantly crying, and sister constantly had fight with him, trying to avoid unknown people in the apartment. But he didn't hear them, and just one day, unknown people from China entered an apartment, and they had the reservation for the room. When I asked him, it's like, why did you do it to your family? He said that the apartment is super expensive, so he wants to get some money back to decrease the rent. And I was like, but you're not giving the money to your mom, who's actually paying for this apartment. He said, it doesn't matter until the money stays in the family. So the people who were changing in the apartment, we were living in a living room on the floor, and we were sleeping there, and his sister gave up first, and she rented herself an apartment with her boyfriend, and she moved out. And my ex-boyfriend was super happy because it meant that it's going to be a second room he can rent out for Airbnb. So his sister moved out of the apartment, and he was renting out 2 rooms for Airbnb. His mom was spending as much time as possible out of there because of unknown people. And as well, I want to say that he was not cleaning it before. He was calling his mom. He's like, can you clean after them because new people are coming? So she said no. So he was renting out the rooms without changing bedsheet, without cleaning. So one day his mom decided that she's moving out as well. He was super happy, so he can rent out the whole apartment. And in this moment I decided that it's time for me to leave too, so I left back to my country. But a few months later I came back, and I know the ending of all of this story. So I came back as a tourist. Of course, we break up after seeing all of this, and I came back as a tourist a little bit later, and I met him for a cup of coffee and got to know how the things are doing. So he was renting the whole apartment for Airbnb, but he received a horrible score because he was not cleaning the apartment. He was not changing bed sheets in between of different people. So he got lots of complaints, and he decided that his business is not worth it. The funniest part, you know what he decided to do? So he canceled the contract for the apartment, and he moved to live with his mom in an apartment she rented, a little one. And the moment he moved there, he tried to convince her to rent this apartment too